The Indian mutual fund industry has become so complicated that for many people, investing itself starts feeling like a second job. In equity section, we have large cap, mid cap, small cap, contra funds, value funds, index funds, and many more. और honestly ये list कभी खत्म नहीं होती. Then comes hybrid funds. In hybrid funds we have aggressive hybrid, conservative hybrid, balance advantage fund, equity savings funds, dynamic asset allocation funds. और एक point के बाद instead of building wealth peacefully, लोग categories और allocations track करते रह जाते हैं. Investing starts feeling like a homework. Hi, I am Ritesh, a corporate data analyst trying to make finance feel less complicated. Now don't get me wrong, asset allocation is important, diversification is important. Having exposure across equity, gold, debt genuinely matters in the long-term investing. But not everyone wants to manually manage how much of my money is in the large cap, how much is in the mid cap, how much is in small cap, how much is in debt, when to rebalance. Some people simply want to invest peacefully बिना इतने financial noise के. And if that sounds like you, I personally feel the multi-asset funds are one of the most underrated mutual fund categories of our country because एक single fund के अंदर ही you get equity exposure, debt exposure, gold exposure and in some cases even international exposure. मतलब instead of managing multiple funds separately, diversification और asset allocation internally handle हो जाता है. The reason this strategy works because different asset classes perform differently in different Indian markets. Sometimes equity performs well, sometimes gold protects in uncertainty, and sometimes debt stabilizes the portfolio. And the truth is, nobody genuinely knows what will outperform next. So instead of constantly predicting markets, a multi-asset approach focuses on balance and adaptability. Now, the interesting part is, most people automatically assume that a diversified multi-asset strategy will generate lower returns. But when you actually compare the numbers, the story becomes much more interesting. If we compare multi-asset funds against categories like Flexi Cap funds, index funds, let's see the numbers. If I do the comparison for the last 1 year, the results are multi-asset fund has significantly outperformed a flexi fund and an index fund. Okay, so this was the comparison for last 1 year, but what I personally do, I always look at last 1 year, recent bull run and the recent crash that I know of. Now let's have a look at recent crash. So we know that the recent crash was around 2024 August 1st till 2025 March 31st. So in the recent correction, if you closely observe what has happened, your index has fallen by 5%, your flexi cap has almost given you zero returns for the period of crash, and your multi-asset fund, because it had gold and other commodities, probably silver, has given you slightly more returns, which is 3%. And let's now look at a recent bull run, which according to me was the entire 2023. End. Okay, so here you can see, in case of a bull run, your HDFC has outperformed by 30%. By looking at this, you would say that, okay, so HDFC is better, but you will never put all of your money in HDFC fund, right? You will never put all your eggs in one basket, which is equity. If you are investing in HDFC Flexi Cap, you would definitely have some allocation to, let's say, large cap, let's say to debt or a commodity fund. So managing that, rebalancing that, and if you want to avoid that and have a just simple one fund portfolio, you can straight away go for the multi-asset fund. Let's also see the comparison for, let's say, from the recent correction to today. This is my end date, May 25th. And let's start with the starting date would be when the crash started, August 1st, 2024. So we know the reason why multi-asset fund has slightly outperformed. I would not say slightly, because of the commodity gold and silver. As we know, the prices of gold and silver almost peaked in 2025 and 2026. That is purely the reason why multi-asset fund has outperformed. If you would have invested, let's say, 1 lakh rupees on 1st of August 2024, today in your multi-asset fund, that would have become 15,000. 1,15,000. In HDFC Flexi Cap, it would have become 1,05,000. And if you have put them in your Nifty 50, the index fund, it would have become almost 97,000. In fact, this is something that I have personally suggested to my friends and relatives over the past 5 years, especially the people who do not actively track markets, don't enjoy researching funds, but they do still understand the importance of investing and diversification. For most people, successful investing is not about finding the perfect fund. It is about building a system that you can easily follow for your next 15 to 20 years of investing. Because long-term wealth creation usually comes from consistency rather than complexity. And I'm planning to show this in the next video, that how I personally evaluate and choose multi-asset funds. So if you enjoy simple finance without any unnecessary noise, subscribe.